The Keyworker role is one part of the Transdisciplinary Keyworker role within early childhood intervention. This video will look at all of the components within the Transdisciplinary Keyworker role and explore some practices and skills used by early childhood intervention professionals. There are 5 components to the Transdisciplinary Keyworker role. These components include the Keyworker, discipline-specific, using transdisciplinary skills, secondary consultation, and consultation to early childhood education and care services. Time allocated for each component of the role varies, depending on the needs of the family, which may change over time. The Keyworker component of the role is where a family is supported in one or more of 5 different ways, which include emotional support, information and advice, identifying and addressing needs advocacy, and service coordination. The discipline-specific using transdisciplinary skills and secondary consultation components all relate to working directly with the family to facilitate child development. The discipline-specific component is where an early childhood intervention professional uses skills that are learned from their own discipline in working with a family and child. For example, a speech pathologist giving advice around how to support the child's communication skills. The using transdisciplinary skills component is when the early childhood intervention professional uses skills and knowledge which might fall outside their specific discipline. They build their skills and knowledge over time through formal consultations with their colleagues and through training professional development. Early childhood intervention professionals will also have an understanding of basic early childhood development to draw on. The secondary consultation component is when an early childhood intervention professional passes on their skills to other team members. They may provide support to a key worker from another discipline, a family they are working with, or to work on goals related to their discipline. For example, where the key worker is a speech pathologist and notices a child avoids textual objects, they may seek advice from their occupational therapist colleague around sensory processing issues. The occupational therapist within their team may provide a secondary consultation to the key worker around ideas to work on this. Newer graduates may ask for more secondary consultations from their peers than those who have more experience. The need for such consultations is reduced as early childhood intervention professionals gain skills from their peers in each secondary consultation as they increase their own transdisciplinary skills. The consultation to early childhood education and care services component is where the early childhood intervention professional provides information and advice to educators. This may include advice around specific needs the child may have in accessing the program, or include coaching around methods of helping the child acquire skills in the early childhood education and care environment. Children are part of their own unique family unit and are supported by their extended family, which may include relatives, friends, and neighbours. Families are also involved with and connected to the local community, which includes early childhood education and care services. Families of children with a disability may have a range of medical specialists that are involved with the child and family. This may include a general practitioner, paediatrician, gastroenterologist, paediatric neurologist, and a genetic specialist. When families are working with a multidisciplinary team, they may also have a psychologist, occupational therapist, teacher, physiotherapist, and a speech pathologist who will work with the child and family. Often each of the specialists have limited communication with each other, which can make it difficult for families who may receive conflicting information and advice and may also need to attend multiple sessions. With a transdisciplinary key worker role, a family's key worker is their primary contact. A key worker may be a psychologist, occupational therapist, teacher, physiotherapist, social worker, or a speech pathologist. A key worker can act as a link between the family and various disciplines. The key worker can use the expertise of other disciplines within their team to share knowledge and ideas, and to help families on a range of issues. The transdisciplinary key worker role not only works with the child and family, but works with the local community and the family's extended family. The transdisciplinary key worker role is a role that works directly with the family, but has access to a team from a range of disciplines working behind them. The Transdisciplinary Keyworker model has 6 core practices that are essential to the role. These practices include Transdisciplinary Practice, Family-centered Practice, Natural Environments, Routines-based Approach, Strengths-based Approach, and Capacity Building. Transdisciplinary practice is where team members share their skills and learn from each other. The Keyworker has a team of people behind them who support them in a range of ways, from providing informal suggestions to accompanying them on a visit to a family to provide specific advice in their area of expertise. Transdisciplinary practice ensures the Keyworker can work on a range of goals with families with the support of team members from other disciplines. For example, a Keyworker is a speech pathologist and a family wants to work on a goal of sitting independently. The Keyworker can approach the physiotherapist from their team to come on a home visit to provide advice. The physiotherapist can then talk to the Keyworker and the parent on how to use everyday activities to facilitate independent sitting. Gradually, the speech pathologist will develop skills and knowledge in this area and will need less support from the physiotherapist. This approach ensures continual growth in the skills of the Keyworker and eventually reduces the number of professionals having direct contact with the family. Family-centered practice is a way of working that puts the family at the centre of all intervention. So goals are developed in partnership with the family based on their priorities, and any intervention strategies are developed with the family to fit in with their routines and everyday activities. Family-centered practice means working with families in a way which respects them, their knowledge, skills, and beliefs. It involves providing information which supports them in making informed decisions, uses their existing resources, and supports and actively involves the family in obtaining any further resources and supports they may need. For example, a family had always enjoyed going out to eat dinner as a family and continued to do this with their first 2 children, but the youngest child who had autism was unable to cope, and so they had stopped going out to dinner. It was really important to the family to be able to enjoy eating out together, so the Keyworker helped them with strategies to firstly be able to eat together as a family at home, and then once they had mastered this, they began going out for a coffee sometimes and eventually built up to all going out for pizza together. Natural environments are the places that children spend their time. This includes everyday settings such as home, community, and early childhood education and care services. All children learn throughout the day from opportunities provided in their natural environments, such as playing in a puddle, having a bath, or at mealtimes. This means that, wherever possible, therapy is provided in natural environments rather than in a specialist setting or clinic. For example, a family had a goal for the child to learn how to hold objects with 2 hands. Instead of attending therapy for 1 hour per week with an occupational therapist, the Keyworker and the mother decided that the child could take part in helping with the cooking at home, helping with holding jugs, cups, and other containers as part of the activity to develop her hand skills. Routines-based interventions recognise that learning takes place during everyday routines, such as eating, bath time, toileting, and play. Using a routines-based approach means that instead of 1 hour of therapy per week, the child has learning goals and activities embedded in all their routines across the entire week. This means that any therapy happens during those activities the family need and/or wants to do, rather than them finding time for therapy sessions or homework. The Keyworker may also assist a family with challenges they have in their everyday routines. For example, if a parent is having difficulty managing their child's behaviour in the supermarket, the Keyworker would go with the parent and the child to the supermarket to help the parent devise strategies to manage this issue in the natural environment, as opposed to devising strategies solely in the home. A strengths-based approach means that professionals recognise and build upon a family's or child's existing strengths to reach goals and learn new skills. This means that rather than focusing on what the family or child can't do, their strengths are focused on, so they are able to extend their existing skills. For example, a mother enjoys singing with her child, so together She and the Keyworker develop a series of singing activities to improve her child's communication skills. Capacity building means supporting a family through teaching, coaching, and mentoring to pass on the skills they need to enable their child to learn and develop. There are times when a Keyworker works directly with a child to model a technique. For example, when the Keyworker met a new family, the mother expressed frustration that she needed to have a separate mealtime for their daughter due to the need for a family member to feed her. Together, they worked on a program to help the child to eat independently and, over a series of mealtimes, the Keyworker coached the mother in using an adapted spoon she provided and in implementing the program. The Transdisciplinary Keyworker is an early childhood intervention professional who works in a way that harnesses the skills of all team members and builds upon each family's strengths. In this model, the professional is no longer the expert who tells the family what they should work on and how they should work. Together, the Keyworker and family develop goals and devise strategies to meet those goals using the family's resources. The Transdisciplinary Keyworker works in partnership with families to help their child's development in a way that is achievable for the family as part of their everyday routines in their everyday environments. The Transdisciplinary Keyworker has expertise in assessment and intervention to facilitate the child's development and also has a team of professionals with different expertise behind them. They apply this expertise in a way that meets the family's goals and fits in with their daily activities.